So, good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about our group assignment. I'm from KOH343, group 9. So, first, I will show you my group member list. So, I'm gonna. Now I'm going to give you a synopsis of our movie, and the movie that I will choose is that named "The Pursuit of the Happiness," and that story describe protagonist who named Chris. He couldn't pay the rent, and he didn't have the happiness in life, and he was swept out by landlord and took his son to the streets. In the next 2 or 3 years, the residents of the Hartford's father and son moved from cardboard box to public toilet. Chris is strong in face to difficult situation and always take part in casual works to make money. At the same time, he also strives to cultivate the spirit of the optimism in face of difficult situation. Although the father and sons have the difficult life and is very hard to the normal people, but they can live happily in the end of the film. So this is the synopsis of the movie.
Okay, hello. My name is Wang Shenao, and I'm one of the presenters today. So for the introduction, this is a story of persistence and faith, and the protagonist of the story chooses to stick with it under all kinds of conditions, and his tough character is worth learning from each of us. And the reason why we choose this film is that this story is actually about an ordinary person. And this movie tells us that an ordinary person can make his life extraordinary. And this movie makes us know it is meaningful to work hard. Failure is not as terrible as we thought.
In next part, I will analyze of the fragment and the plot of the movie that we choose. The first sense, I will talking about the eye contact. Among the 4 functions of the Kent's eye contact, the father's eye contact at the time belonged to expressive. The eyes are the windows of the soul. The father's inner emotion can be conveyed through the eyes, and the information covered by the eyes will enhanced. The effect of communication can make information conveyed more authentic and credible. And in this part, I divided the plot of the movie into 2 parts. I divided the eye contact into 2 parts as well. So the second part is about the cognitive eye contact. In the film, the personnel manager has an understanding of Chris and his security because of Chris quickly recovering the cube in the film. He also give Chris an interview opportunity. This opportunity changed his fate of the life. So I define the eye contact as cognitive eye contact. This type is often decisive and expressive eye contact, which can express personal emotion from the eyes. And the second part, I will talk about body movement and posture. In the film, the protagonist Chris has many customers. He uses his enthusiasm and hard work to sell his product. In the picture of slides, Chris takes the initiative to shake hands with his customer. Such a simple action, but it very directly to express his feeling, like gratitude for his customers and showing friendly to his customer as well. So the importance of the body movement and posture. So in my opinion, the importance can be divided into two parts. The first part is provide valuable information to others. Just like I said before, Chris shake hands with his customer, showing that about the gratitude and the friendly. And the second point is expression your emotion and support for verbal communication. Body movement and posture can divided into non-verbal communication, and this is the supply for verbal communication and expression your emotion is touch and territory. In normal life, that can saying as the two part of the non-verbal communication, but I combine these two type of one in my presentation. So touch and territory. Touching is also a very virtual element in our interpersonal communication. It is the most directly way to express intimacy. Just like in the plot, we select the father is the first time when there are danger signs outside because of his love for his children. In order not to disturb his sleep, this is a touching action in interpersonal life. To a certain extent, physical touch has a great effect on the development of the personal happiness. The kind of nonverbal communication often exists and can interpret emotional information and expression information more accurately. From another aspect, touching and tutorial is a nonverbal communication that can also to be understood as an emotional support for communication. So I summarizing 4 point of touching and tutorial. So first things is this is the one of the most directly ways for human to express intimacy. Second point is limited by many factors like region, culture, even gender. The third point is physical touch has a great effect on the development of the personal happiness and personal feelings. So the final thing is that can also understood as an emotional support too. So this is all of my part. I will turn around to my partner.
So the ending in this movie is happy, but what about real life? And before I start, I want to share a research. So according to Douglas Smith, the percentage of single-parent households with children between the age of 12 and 20 is significantly associated with rates of the violent crime and burglary. Because in many countries the rate of divorce is being increased, and single-parent families are no longer a rare phenomenon in today's society. And this lack of interpersonal communication environment of family can have a very bad influence on the children. For example, the research we mentioned before this. And sometimes we forgot to use nonverbal communication in the interpersonal communication to bring us closer. And for this point, I'm gonna explain it. Use the movie we choose. A big part of the reason Chris and his wife split up was they didn't communicate enough. For example, when Christ have a fight with his wife, and they never calm down and have a good conversation and have a good communication with each other, so they got divorced. And a lot of nonverbal communication can also help a couple's relationship, such as a hug. And in many single-parent families, children will face the problem of lack of effective communication with their father or mother. And this situation may be cause the violence of the children. And Christ set a good example in his movie. He lets his son grow up in a good environment by giving him enough care, such as he will always play games with his son, and he will teach his son many lessons, and such as teach him how to be strong and not be defeated by the difficulties. And many parents, whether they are divorced or not, they really should to learn from the Christ is to give enough care to your children. And that's all. Thank you.